What's up, guys? Welcome back to my Minecraft Hardcore series. This is episode 4. Thank you guys so much for the support on the last episode. I really appreciate it. And make sure to hit the like button and the subscribe button on this episode. And that being said, let's hop right into it. So as you can tell, we are clearly in the nether. And as I was explaining last episode, this episode, I want to get a main food source. Or at least a main food source for now, because all we've been eating is bread and baked potatoes, which is just not cutting it. And I'm sure by the title of this video, you already know what it's going to be. Right now, I'm going to be going on top of the nether to build a Hoglin farm to get cooked pork chops. I'll be showing you guys how to do so, get on top of the nether, and also break the bedrock on top of the nether. That way we can go in and out. I'm a little bit nervous to do this because I haven't done it in a while, and if we mess up, we could easily get stuck on top of the nether and basically lose the world, because if we get stuck on top of the nether and no way to get down, you know, that's it. It's game over. We can't break bedrock. So let's get up here first, get all the way to the bedrock. Okay, so the first step is getting all the way to the ceiling when you find this bedrock, and you want to be looking. If you look to the right of my screen, you'll see the targeted block. The middle number should say 127. So if you see 127, so far so good. And now we have to take some ladders, place them right here, just only 2 blocks under here. So now, after we do that, we take our emerald. And also, I should say, before you do this, always bring at least 10 obsidian and a flint and steel. That way, you know, worst case scenario, you can always take an ender portal back to the overworld. Because obviously we're going to try to break the bedrock, but if that fails, at least we have another way to get down and we don't get stuck up there. So, as I was saying, take your ender pearl and you want to aim like right where this block, where the ladder is, and the block right above it kind of meet in that little crease, like a little above it. And then you should hop right on top of the nether. So what you're going to do is you're going to place a block marking that's where your ladder is. Now, the setup I'm going to do to break the bedrock it's a very common setup. I'm not even going to link like a video to show you how to do it, because I'm going to show you how to do it now, and everyone does the same thing. So what you're going to need is, we're done with the ender pearls and the ladders. You're going to need some obsidian, TNT, some pistons, trapdoors, and some levers. So your obsidian is going to go just like that, with your TNT here, your lever right there, and trapdoor there. And you could break this block and put the piston facing out this way, and you're basically done. Also, I'm going to put our nether portal right here. Whoa. You guys see that? Alright, well, maybe it's just taking a second to load in. I'm just gonna continue. Alright, okay. Alright, I'm gonna wait for these blocks to load in, because it's freaking me out. Alright, so the nether portal is complete. So if we, for some reason, do not break through the bedrock, at least we can get down using our nether portal. We only had 11 TNT, which means that we get 5 tries at this. So hopefully, I tried it in a different world, and I was able to do it pretty consistently. But from what I found, the best thing to do is go to your controls, go to keybinds, and then change your place block to your alt button, or whatever button's easiest for you to do. But the alt button, at least then, you can kind of like hold down the alt button instead of having to click to place the block. So yeah, so basically what we're gonna do here is we're gonna flip that lever right there, and once that turns on the TNTs, we're gonna open this up right here, so we're laying down, and then the lever on the other side of this will also open this up and extend this arm right here, and we'll be able to kind of move to the side and look on the corner, the top right corner of this obsidian block. And that's when you're going to take your piston, hold down your alt button, and you want the piston to basically place facing straight down. And it's kind of weird how it works, but at the same exact time as the TNT blowing up, and the lever is like pushing the piston down, and it's going to like break the block below it. Best way I can explain it, but let's just give it a shot here, and hopefully all goes well. I have my totem moon dying in my hand just in case something terrible goes wrong, but let's see if we can do it first try. Alright, good start. come on. Let's see. Alright. Did not work. Let's try this again. Alright, come on. Come on. Oh, I think we did it. I think we did it. Let's go. Alright, so there we go. We broke the bedrock, so now we can get up and down from, you know, the overworld. I'm sorry, the underworld to the top of the overworld. Let me change my keybind. So you can keep the nether portal there because I guess it's like a quicker way to get home. My nether portal down below is like right under us, so this should still take us kind of relatively close to our house. But I am actually gonna go home and get the materials that I need for the Hoglin farm. Then I'm gonna come back, build it for you guys, do a time lapse, all that. And yeah, so I'll see you guys when I'm back with all the material. Alright, so we got all the material for our Hoglin farm, and it doesn't really call for anything like too crazy. Just a lot of cobblestone. The shroom lights and the hoppers took a little while to get because we didn't have any iron, so that was kind of annoying. And the shroom lights just are a tedious thing you gotta go get. Alright, so we're back and we got all of the materials we need for our Hoglin farm. It doesn't really call for anything too crazy, especially because we already had all of the cobblestone we needed, so that definitely helped. It still took about 3-4 hours to get all the material because the shroom lights were annoying and we had no iron for the hoppers. And also in this chest is just some spruce trapdoors. But yeah, so nothing crazy material wise, but the output we get and the amount of cooked pork chops and leather is absolutely insane. So I'm not gonna do a time lapse. I'm just gonna like walk you guys kind of through it. So if you want to build it or, you know, whatever, because it's not really too crazy to build either. Alright, so we're done marking out our farm, and that back row of dirt right there is going to be, you know, one side of the farm, and then that'll be another, and we're standing on, I guess, what is the front? Really, over here is going to be the middle where we're going to be AFKing, but it all is in the Crimson Forest, so now we can go ahead and start building. right, so the farm is done. Well, this is if you were gonna just do one portion of the farm. I mean, this is it. If you just gotta for it to start working, you just gotta come here, build straight up all the way to the high limit, and AFK there for 1 hour. You get about roughly 6,000 pork chops per hour and 250 leather, which is obviously a lot. Like that'll be plenty. I'm just gonna do this times 3 to make it big because why not? But yeah, so I can't do a time lapse because this is the 1.20 update, and the replay mod that I use has not come out with the 1.20 version yet. So I think it takes about a week or two for them to come out with the up-to-date version. So I won't be able to do a time lapse, but I'm gonna build it, and then maybe I'll speed up the first person view. Depending how long it takes, maybe I'll just skip it, maybe I won't. But either way, I'll see you guys when I'm done building. Oh, I almost forgot. If you want the farm to actually work, you're gonna come down to the bottom here, take your flint and steel, and just light it all up. And get rid of this. Alright, so the farm is complete. It honestly wasn't that bad of a build. It didn't take too long at all, especially for the amount of pork chops we're going to get. So the only thing left to do is AFK and see how much pork chops we get in an hour. So to AFK this farm, all you got to do is come in the middle of all of them and just kind of line yourself up in the middle and just build all the way straight up to the height limit until you can't build anymore, and then just sit up there and wait. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to AFK for 30 minutes and see how much we get there, and then times that by 2, and that's how much you'll get roughly in an hour. So I'm going to build to the height limit, and I'll see you guys in about 30 minutes. Alright guys, so after AFKing for just 30 minutes, I got all of the cooked pork chops and leather, put them in these chests, and after just 30 minutes, we got 4 double chests of cooked pork chops. I don't think I've ever seen so many cooked pork chops in my life. And we got half of a double chest of leather, which comes out to about 14,000 cooked pork chops and 2,100 leather. So if you were to AFK for an hour, you'd get about 28,000 to 30,000 cooked pork chops and 4,200 to 4,500 leather. Alright, so I definitely recommend this farm. It's a great, automatic, reliable food source. I do gotta give credit to the YouTuber that gave me the idea. His name is Mortings. I'll leave a link down below for his channel or the video that I found. He made like one of the sections, and it gives about 6,000 pork chops per hour. So I decided to build 4 of them because on this series, in this world, I definitely want to make like some of the biggest farms that I've ever made and get the absolute highest outputs, because why not? So I think for the rest of this episode, I'm gonna make a big sugarcane farm. Sugarcane is definitely one of the most like needed things, especially in later game. If you want to have an elytra, and then you need sugarcane to make your fireworks and stuff like that. So I just actually finished up mining iron for the last like hour or so, just trying to get a bunch of iron for our pistons. Eventually, we're gonna make a huge iron farm. I have that in the works, but for now, let's go to try to find a desert because I want to get a bunch of sand to turn into glass. So as of recently, I haven't been sleeping. I'm going to be trying to avoid sleeping unless absolutely necessary. I feel like we can handle the mobs at the nighttime with the tools and armor we have. But the main reason is because right now it's day 258. If I was to sleep, it would automatically become day 259. But, you know, that's a lot of like in-game time that we could be using and we're skipping through when we skip through the night. So, you know, if I hadn't slept so much in the beginning, we'd probably only be at day like 200. And, you know, I don't know, if you play hardcore, you watch hardcore, then you know that, you know, you try to make the most of every day you can. That way when you get to day like 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, you have a lot more done. So we found this. We're actually not too far from the house. I don't think we can see it, but I'm just going to get like as much sand as I possibly can with all of these shovels. Wow, the difference between efficiency 2 and efficiency 4 is insane. Alright, so only about 5 minutes later, and we got about almost a full inventory of sand, so let's head back home and start smelting this stuff down. Might as well grab some of this coal while we're here. Alright, all of the glass is done smelting. It took about 20 minutes. While we were waiting for that to smelt, I figured we'd make some good use of our time, and I made a AFK cobblestone generator. Because I do have a couple projects coming up that I want to build that are going to use a bunch of cobblestone, and after that Hoglin farm, we have 0 cobblestone, so I figured it'd be a good use of our time. Alright, so we almost got everything we need. I do have to go to the mine shaft that I marked out over there with that torch to get some rails and powered rails. So I don't really know, I don't like remember exactly where the mine shaft is. I just know I dug straight up and marked it with that torch. So let's go see if we can find it again. I think I'm just going to dig straight down like right below the torch and see if we run into it, because I absolutely do not remember where this mine shaft was. Alright, so I'm back from the mine shaft. We got all of the rails we needed, and this is basically all the material we're going to need for the sugarcane farm. More or less, this is what you need depending on how many layers you're going to be building. We're going to be going up 6 layers for now at least. This is kind of just like a big temporary sugarcane farm. Eventually, we're going to make a huge like automatic one that looks a little bit different. But yeah, so this is pretty much all the material we need. Now let's start building it. I'm also going to be using some regular stone, so I just got like an automatic smelting thing going on here while we start building. But the one I'm going to be building is a pretty generic version. Alright, so we got some stone smelting right here because we are going to need some of that as well. I have to try to remember how to... I haven't built one of these in so long, so I guess we'll start it right here. This will be the first layer, and we're going to do it... We're actually going to do it 11 long. That way we have a middle block. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Put that there. And we need a space of 3, and then the stone. And do the same thing on this side. Oh, what? So we don't waste any stone. There's going to be a gap here, here, and a gap here. And a gap there. And then in these side gaps, you can put your redstone. And then in the middle right here, is that big enough? I'm actually gonna do this. It's a temporary block going like that. And then coming outwards into the chest. Do the same thing over here. So the rails are gonna go across like this. Oops. And then this is where the powered rails go. Okay. And this is just gonna be a wall right here. Build that up. And I was actually wrong, so we don't need this over here. Come out like that. That way it all just goes to one chest. Now using our stone, we're just gonna go straight across like this. Alright, so it was coming nighttime, so I just kind of lit up the surrounding area. So hopefully the mobs stay awake, especially that guy. But building up here, we can go up, let's just go up a few blocks here, just to get that out of the way. Alright, now above the rails, right above the rails, we're going to put our dirt. This is going to be where our sugarcane is going to go. And then right in the middle here is where we're going to put our water, so that way we can actually plant our sugarcane. And then right above the water, some more stone blocks. And then we're going to put one right here. Yeah, so you don't really need that layer. So right here is where all the pistons are going to go. And do the same thing on this side. And then right here in this middle stone, you could put all of just redstone right there. And then, you know, I made 60 observers, but now that I think about it, you don't really need 60. You could do it, oh, not like that. Come on. I think we could get away with just putting one on each end and one in the middle. Alright, so that's basically the first layer of the sugarcane farm. Obviously, the sugarcane goes on the dirt right there. And then when it grows 2 blocks and goes in front of that little face, all the pistons will push out, breaking, you know, whatever sugarcane has grown in the row. Same thing on the other side, obviously. But what I did realize is right here, we do have to bring this out one. And then put a hopper there. That way, when we get up here on the second layer, come here, and then basically when you get to the second layer, you just repeat. So pretend this is the ground, this is where the rails are going to go, and then this is where the hoppers are going to be. So kind of like that. Basically that. Alright, so I still can't do any time lapses, so I'm not going to speed it up in first person like I did for the Hoglin farm. So I'm just going to finish up the build. Okay, so here it is. It's nothing too crazy, and right there, as you saw, you know, it basically just worked right there. Hopefully you caught that. If not, I'll show you guys again. But I didn't want to go out. It's nothing too crazy because eventually I'm going to be knocking this down and making like a really, really big sugarcane farm. But I figured it'd be good to just have it going. In the meantime, there it goes again. That way, when we're ready for the elytra, we have some type of paper already ready for our fireworks and everything like that. So as you just saw a couple times, when the sugarcane build, I know I explained this before, but I'll explain it again. When the sugarcane grows, it goes up to 3. So, you know, when it, right here, it won't do anything, but when it goes in front of this observer, that observer, or the other one, it automatically makes all of the pistons push out, chopping down whatever has grown so far. And then the minecart will pick it up through the dirt, bring it into the hopper, and bring it into the chest. So let's see if we have anything in here. We just saw it go off twice. So we already have a stack. I don't really know how long we've been going for. But let's see on the other side. Alright, so it looks like it cleared out on this side because they're both all clean cut. But yeah, so you saw how it works. That's going to be it for the episode. I really do think next episode I'm going to be doing a iron farm in the spawn chunk. Because another reason why I didn't want to go all out on this one, or really couldn't, is because I don't have enough iron to make all of the pistons and the hoppers and the mine carts, etc. So I'm going to do an iron farm, and I think I'm also going to do like a small XP farm because, I mean, all of my tools and armor are wearing out, and I don't want to be wasting XP on repairing and not really being able to enchant new tools. And then eventually we're going to do an XP farm. But that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It's kind of annoying I can't really do any time lapses. I guess I could like install an older version of Minecraft and do the time lapse that way, but I'm just a little nervous it will corrupt the world and I'll lose the world. I don't really like doing stuff like that. But we'll see. I'm going to look into it. That being said, make sure to like, share, and subscribe as always. And till next time, peace.